If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and please subscribe and don't forget to ring the bell. Your support, of course, will be greatly appreciated. So let us continue with more female allegorical figures. To start off, I thought I should go on a slight tangent regarding not why the figures are used in certain countries, but why many countries do not use such figures. If you watched last week's video, you will remember that Canada has only made one coin with the Miss Canada figure. Countries of the British Commonwealth, previously the British Empire, already had an important figure on them, the king or queen. So an allegorical figure is not needed. There are some exceptions to this rule, of course, which I will mention in future videos. Other countries, such as Japan and many Middle Eastern countries, do not allow a person's portrayal on coins of any kind. Other countries, such as the US, do allow allegorical, mythological, and portraits of dead people on coins. Live people, however, are not allowed. So those coins that you see on sale online with portraits of Obama or Trump, they are not official US mint issues. So after Canada, we have this figure from Chile. Now it is hard to see, but this Libertad, as she is called, does have one breast exposed in this picture, sort of like the first U.S. Standing Liberty Quarter of 1916. She also has wings on her, which is a symbol of freedom, as well as a broken chain on each of her wrists. So this figure was actually first used in 1976 in Chile to celebrate the 1973 overthrow of the government when it tried to make Chile a Soviet-Cuban satellite state. Now, next is Colombia. So the Colombian one, this one is not very clear, unfortunately, as the coin is very dark. But if you can take a look at it there, you will see that it is looks like a bit like a seated liberty. But she has her hands behind her as if she's tied up, like the picture of Marie Antoinette being taken to the guillotine. In this case, she is, in fact, has been tied up. It is a symbol of liberty, but it is based on a real person named Policarpa Salavarieta. And sorry for mangling that name. She spied against Spain to help fight for Colombian independence in 1817. Unfortunately, she was captured by the Spanish. She was tried and put up against a wall and shot. Now, I also have two Czechoslovakian female figures. The first one, both are agriculture related, but the first one you have a woman harvesting grain with the assistance of a sickle in one hand. The other picture has again, it's a very similar woman. She is planting a seedling, perhaps symbolizing the rebuilding of Czechoslovakia after the overthrow of Soviet rule. Now, this Dominican Republic 5 centavos has a figure that is supposed to represent an indigenous princess, but her headdress has liberty written on it. It's very, very hard to see here because it's quite worn. But it's written on the band, so it is in fact an allegorical figure again, but rather than representing a specific real person. Now, if you haven't watched my video about 20th century France, the video went over more details about the French Marianne figure. Now, here's a quick review of the Marianne figure. First of all, this one from the 20 centimes has her in the Phrygian cap and the wind is blowing her hair to the right. If we're looking at the picture, it looks like she's in a rather strong wind. I'm surprised the hat doesn't blow off. Next, the 19th century Franc, 1872 to be precise, has a again, not a very clear picture, unfortunately, because it is well worn and quite tarnished. That was the reason why this particular coin was quite cheap to buy. It was not in the best condition. But she again has a Phrygian cap, kind of hard to tell, but she does have the Phrygian cap, and she has a crown of flowers that she is wearing around. So again, this is Marian, like Lady Liberty in the U.S., but with the crown of flowers. Next is a 5 franc with a walking Marianne, and she is sowing seeds in this case. And you're probably looking at that and thinking, that looks awfully similar to the American Walking Liberty $50. And I have to say that's probably not a coincidence. Next is a 50 francs, which has a actually rather plain looking here. Here she's just wearing a flower on her hair, and not much else. Just a young lady with a flower in her hair. And the 100 franc has an interesting design. She has the design very similar to that I might show on the 20 centimes. Again, Phrygian cap with a flower design. And she's carrying a torch, and the flames, as you can see there, are blowing very abruptly to the left. So again, looks like she's walking in a very strong wind, hoping perhaps that the torch doesn't get blown out. And finally, the last one for France. She is. We have another one here. This is a 50 euro cent, and again, it's upside down, of course. There we go. It is the walking Marian again, same as the 5 francs. Kind of hard to tell here. Very stylized design that they did for the 50 euro. I guess they made it this way to make the coin easy to strike. But again, it is the walking walking Marian sowing seeds. Now, to add to that, then we have French colonies as well that came up with a variety of designs, and here we have a seated liberty on a French Indochina 10-cent piece. Now, French Indochina, that part of the world is now Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. This one has her wearing a sun crown, very similar to the headpiece that the Statue of Liberty wears. And she also is holding a bundle of sticks, the fasces, which you probably remember if you saw my video on the American Mercury dime, which also has the fasces design on it. Next, on the 20 yen, there she is there's that Phrygian cap again. And she also is holding in one hand here what appears to be a laurel branch. I'm guessing it's a laurel. It's a symbol for peace, of course. And then we have another seated liberty. In this case, on her right hand, she is holding a cornucopia, or horn of plenty, as it's often called, and a torch in the other hand. No sign of the wind trying to blow it out, though. But that's, again, not a very good design. I apologize. I do not have a nicer version of this. It'd be nice if I could find one. Again, it was cheap, and it was at the time it was one place that I did not have, French Polynesia. So I thought, yeah, it's only $1. What the heck? I'll buy it. Finally, French West Africa, rather plain looking Lady Liberty again, very similar to what I showed on the 50 francs, just the flower on her hair, and there is the Phrygian cap again. So there we go. So all of these ones that I showed you, of course, again, are quite inexpensive and probably pretty easy to find. Many of them, again, would be in the bargain bins at your local coin dealer. Now, if you have any questions, of course, Please post in the comments, and if you have any suggestions for any other areas that I should cover, please let me know. And of course, thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope you liked today's video.